Hi, I'm Debbie and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Now I am reading for May 4th through the 10th. We are in Taurus season. This is the overview. If you want to watch my individual ones, they will be coming out a little bit later and I will put them on YouTube and Rumble. Now I did get my last overview on TikTok. I think maybe 2 people watched. Thank you, 2 people. I thank you very much. But remember, what did I want to say? Oh, that, because I did do this with TikTok, I'm going to have to say this is for entertainment purposes only. So take what you like. Remember, I've prayed, meditated, infused the decks with Reiki energy, but these are general readings, may or may not resonate. So take what you like and leave the rest. I am an intuitive channeler. I open myself to God, to Source, to Jesus, and I just say, what do the people need to hear? I will let this come through. Okay, so let's see which ones I'm going to be using. I'm going to keep it simple. I am going to be using my Radley Valentine decks because I really like the numbering in the major arcana, and there is a reason for that. But I am going to be using the Angel Wisdom Tarot. I will use my Archangel Power Tarot cards. We will have a card drawn from the what is this one called? Please help me. Okay, the Archangel Michael. Here we go. Sword of Light Oracle cards. Now I do have a little different one. This is my Emily Anderson crystal deck. So let's see what we've got going on in that one website that I like to look at, or actually the 2 websites I like to look at. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of changes, but yet, so what we're seeing, there's not a whole lot. May 5th, May 6th, May 10th, but all these other energies are still ramping up. They're always ramping up. And then we get to the 12th, which will then have some more changes coming on with the full moon too. So let me go in. Hold on. I like to do this. Should wear my glasses because that helps me to see. Close up, the-astrologer.net. And this is /this month astrology.html. So we talked about, Venus 1 degree in Aries conjuncting with Neptune 1 degrees in Aries. So there is some very dreamy relationship energy going on right now. But there's also, because we're Aries, this is very fire energy coming on. And there are things coming to the surface, very emotional things coming from the surface, very hidden energies coming up, and it is new beginnings. So now we jump to May 5th. We have Mercury 21 degrees in Aries. So we have some very fiery communications happening at this time, but it's sextiling with Jupiter 21 degrees in Gemini. Now 21 in the major arcana is the World card. It basically means that there is an end of a season, an end of a journey. And, things are working out well. So I'm looking at this May 5th and, the fact that we have 5-5, so this is that 5-5 portal, 5-5-2025. So we've got some 5s there. Things could be shifting. Things could be changing. This looks to me on this May 5th that we could get some good news here. However, we have Pluto going retrograde at 3 degrees, 3.349 minutes in Aquarius. So a lot of this, maybe there's going to be some, when Pluto goes retrograde, and right now we're in that shadow of the retrograde, so we're feeling the energies pulsing. And again, Mars in Leo, all this, we had some, what did we have going on back here? We had Mars, on the 26th, Mars 3 degrees Leo opposing Pluto 3 degrees Aquarius, very, very explosive type of energies with that. But where was I going with this? At Pluto going retrograde, it could be going over some of the stuff we have just gone through. And there could be a lot of, especially Mercury retrograde with communications, there could be a lot of clarification of a lot of past energies, past messages, past in itself. Pluto is the disruptor. Pluto is the, Pluto is the underworld. It is the phoenix. It is the things have to dissolve before being rebuilt. So things could be very interesting on 5/5/2025. And then we have the 6th of May, Venus 3 degrees in Aries. So sextiling, so that's a looser connection with Pluto 3 degrees in Aquarius. So Venus comes in and tries to tone things down a little bit more, tries to make things a little more tolerable. We are in very interesting times. I mean, it's just these are unprecedented times. So let's go on. Now we do have a full moon, or no, we have Mercury entering Taurus on the 10th. We'll talk more about that next time. But we do have that full moon coming up on the 12th. And we have two choices, decisions coming together, partnering in Scorpio. So it's just very interesting. We just have to keep going forward. So here is the horoscope.astro-seek.com. And I put this for New York time. And let's see, actually right before Pluto goes retrograde, we've had all the planets actually going direct right now. But this is going to be this is always going to be interesting time. So think back from January to, this May 4th, and think about all these things that have to come out. Think about all these things that have to be, told. Now we have Mercury conjuncting on the 6th with Chiron. I always want to call it Chiron. Chiron. He is the wounded healer. So there could be some information that could be very painful coming out at this time. Mercury entering Taurus, earth energy, informational energy, but this is more grounded energy. So right now, while this is in Aries, this could be very fiery energy. It's things like, I did not want to have to face any of this. I do not want to change my belief systems. I do not want to change, I do not want to change. This is what it is. Then Mercury conjuncts with Chiron, and then it's like you can't help. You can't help, especially with Mercury entering into Taurus. You can't help but I don't know, see some changes going on. It's interesting. We're all very interesting. We get closer to that July 7th, that 7/7 energy, when Gemini or Uranus goes into Gemini. Like I said, these are very unprecedented times. So, and if you don't know what I mean, I have talked about these. I've talked about Neptune being in Aries, Civil War, Uranus being in Gemini, World War II, Civil War, Revolutionary Day War, Pluto being in Aquarius, war. That was the War of Independence, Revolutionary War. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to actually have physical things going on, but I feel that there is a very strong spiritual war going on right now, and it will get more intense as we get closer to that July 7th, okay? So let's see what else we might have. Higher power, Holy Spirit, Lord Jesus. What else do you want to say? What else is going on? We have that 5/5 portal, 5/5/2025. So, we have some interesting energies with that. What else? What else do you want to say? What else do you want to tell us? And I do love these cards. They were given to me. Now, some people ask me, do you have to always have cards given to you? Well, I know that if I waited for my cards to be given to me, I might not have gotten any. So then where would I be? So no, I do buy them. But again, too, I do try to make a connection with the cards. I have a lot of different cards here that I've not necessarily connected with, and I have a lot of cards that I have connected with. Now, too, reversed cards. I tend to be a little teachy with this, so I tell people that come into my booth that if they if they watch me long enough and they have a notepad and they just write down, they'll be able to understand and and read their own cards, at least on more that intellectual level. Okay, so I think these two are reversed. Reversed to some readers are that it's the opposite. I look at it as more it's more important. Pay attention. So let's see if I'm right today. Oh, no, I'm not. This is the reversed one. So we have the moon energy here. Now, today I'm doing this on the 28th, so we just had the new moon in Taurus with a lot of squaring off with some very strong Leo and Aries energies going on. The moon in itself, major arcana, Heniel, is the archangel associated. This is a number 18, 1, 10, 8. 1 new beginning, 10 transitioning, and 8 into unlimited opportunities and possibilities, okay? You can add the 1 and the 8 together, becomes a 9. It's the ending of a chapter. Now the moon, the moon shows us many faces, but it partial, waxing, waning, full, but it always only shows us. We only see the one side of the moon. We never see the other side. So that's what is hidden from us. That's where we're going to have to take things on faith. That's where we have to take things and just kind of, say, okay, this is my intuition. The moon tells us to, and again, I do not tell you to worship the moon. Jesus is my God. And I don't tell you to do that either. This is you choose what you are, who you are. I believe God puts us all in certain places for certain reasons. So the moon is very mystical, very mythical, very psychic energy. It's very goes down into the hidden depths. And we just, some of it needs to be through prayer, meditation. Some of it needs to be through faith. A lot of it needs to be through our third eye, through our intuition. So listen to your intuition. This is more This is more the world. Listen to your intuition and pay attention to signs from the divine. Unnecessary worry. And I really feel that's very important. Let go of your fears, revelations that will make everything clear. And I do feel, that unnecessary worry, let go of your fears. A lot of that has to do with the Devil card, has to do with ego. Fear is one of those things that is one of those tools of the devil who tries to keep you from your blessing. Remember, I have said this before, in the Bible, whether you read it or not is your choice. There is, what I understand, 365 ways of saying fear not. Okay, so one for each day. Let's see, this one's the reversed one. Here we go. Okay, so right now the world is kind of in a standstill, is kind of in a which way do I go? So we have a 4 is stability, organization, and leadership. We have water energy, which is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Now we will be coming up to that Scorpio full moon. So we will feel a little bit more of that emotional pull, okay? And the moon does affect the earth, does affect us. We're 75, 80% water, so it does pull us into a different frequency in some ways, if you want to do that. I love watching the videos about water and certain frequencies. So this is cup energy, fluid, emotional, very spiritual energy. You see him, there's an angel behind him. You see him, the fruit has fallen. There's the 3 cups. He doesn't necessarily look too happy with it. I call this kind of a fallow period. I call this kind of the in-between, the waiting. Is more fruit gonna drop? Is the shoe gonna drop? The 3 cups are before him. We don't know if they're filled or not. He doesn't look necessarily happy with this situation, but he doesn't necessarily want to get up and move either. And then we have the angel Heniel behind him with a new cup. And it's kind of like there is more to come. Stop, it kind of wants to say, stop having your pity party. There is more to come. Get up, raise your vibrations. But a lot of times this is about being in between the fallow periods, as my mom used to say. I would ask her, read for me for as a teenager. And all I wanted to know is, did so-and-so like me? Was I going to go out with so-and-so? And she'd tell me, you're in a fallow period. You're in a period of preparation. So what do we have here? Failing to recognize a magical opportunity, missing the point. The distraction of daily life, discontentment or boredom, lost in your own world. Wake up. There is more coming. And just because it's hidden doesn't mean that we just have to kind of like lay down and just, oh, nothing's happening. So kind of, it's connected to Shamuel. It's connected to 12, which is also the Hanged Man card. And this is all about looking at things differently. You've got it. There's many people that, all of us, in fact, we all have to change our paradigm to some extent. We all have to look at things with more hope in our heart and a little bit more grace. Remember, I tell people, don't ask for patience, don't ask for strength, don't ask for courage, because if you do, you'll go through a lot of lessons to obtain those. I tell people, ask for mercy, grace, and hope. Psalm 23. Here we go. Next card, Justice. Justice card. So we have, while we're in between, we have the moon. There are things hidden. There is justice coming. Archangel Raguel. Raguel, this is also the number 8. So we had the number 18 here, so we know what that also means. Raguel is the final, well, besides God, of course, but Raguel is the angel that makes decisions, okay? So he's kind of the tiebreaker. So we have Justice is blind. He's got his eyes closed. We have the sword energy. We've got the Libra energy here, the scales. Got a lot of interesting stuff going on here. So here we go, Raguel. Be impartial and objective, but stand up for what you believe. Try to see all sides of a situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. That's more the case of it. If you are doing the right thing and for the right reason, things will work out. So there's a lot of hidden stuff going on behind the scenes. Maybe this is the population feels very kind of discontented, disconnected, but justice is coming. And it's also going to be very interesting. I don't know, do we have some miracles happening? I believe in miracles. Miracles happen all the time, but justice is coming. So you want to be on the right side, okay? You want to be on the right side because, like where we say justice is blind, sometimes we can be hit by a little bit of the blowback. How's that? So let's see what we've got. Keep our vibrations elevated. Now let's see. Higher power, what else do you want to say? What else do you want to say? We're going to use these cards. Higher power, what else do you want to say to everybody? What else is going on out there? Okay, this one I know is reversed because that's the reversed one. Here we are. So even though it may be a very interesting, unsettling week, the May 4th to the 10th, it all will work its way through. So we have a 1-10, 1-9. So it's a 10 to the 9. 10, transitional energy. That 1, 0. 0 is God's source energy. 9 is that, let's wrap it up. The chapter is about complete. And then we add the 1 to the 9, becomes the 10 again. And then 10, transition to the new beginning. We have Archangel Uriel here. Uriel is the archangel involved with light and knowledge and wisdom. So if you're ever looking for something, if you're ever, okay, I want to know the truth, the angels, they all have something going on very similar, but Uriel is the one to go to see whatever the truth is. The sun is probably the most positive card in the major arcana or in the whole tarot deck, because it says even though all of this stuff is going on and it could be very turbulent, we may not necessarily like it. We may feel like we have no power. There is a lot of things going on behind the scene. Justice will come whether we like the verdict or not. It's like, justice comes. The truth will come out. The truth will come out. And the sun says all will be well. Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. Like I said, all will be out. Truth comes out, all will be out. Alrighty, now I'm going to try to post this one on TikTok too. I will post on Rumble and YouTube, so that will come out today. I will also get my other videos out hopefully today, maybe tomorrow. We got to kind of see, okay? Please, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate more people are watching this, so thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Now remember, do all that stuff down there because it is making a difference. YouTube told me, hey, you've got more people are watching, so thank you. It keeps me coming back. As always, though, and I do feel this is very important and very heartfelt, always know that you are loved. Stay shining and be blessed. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.